Good morning, students. Let's begin our new topic of the biology section, chapter number 6. The topic is heterotrophic nutrition. So, in the previous video, you would have learned about different mode of nutrition. Into it, you have learned about autotrophic nutrition, and you have studied about how plants synthesize their food, how they undergo photosynthesis. Now, we'll be learning about the next mode of nutrition, that is heterotrophic nutrition. So the organisms which cannot synthesize their own food by their own are called as heterotroph, and that mode of nutrition of the mode of consumption of nutrition, because nutrition is very important for each and every organism to survive. So the nutrition in which the organism depends upon the other living organisms is, or dead living organisms, it's called as heterotrophic nutrition. So this is a mode of nutrition in which an organism cannot make or synthesize its own food from a single inorganic material like carbon dioxide and water, and depends upon the other organisms for its food. So now the organisms which cannot make their own food, they have to depend on the other organisms. So this heterotrophic nutrition, it's of different types. So basically it's of 3 types, and we will be learning it now. So moving ahead with that. So moving ahead with different types of heterotrophic nutrition, we'll be starting with the first type, that is saprotrophic nutrition. The saprotrophic nutrition is a type of nutrition in which the organisms feeds upon the dead organic matter, or they feed on the matter or the plants or animals which are already dead. They feed upon them. So since these animals cannot engulf their food, so they take the nutrition directly from those organisms and they feed on them. Example, fungi, example, yeast and bread molds. So these organisms take their food from the dead or decaying organic matter, and this mode of nutrition is called as saprotrophic nutrition. So nutrition in which an organism obtains its food from decaying organic matter of dead plants, dead animals and rotten food, etc. is called as saprotrophic nutrition. Example, bread molds or rhizopus, mushrooms, yeast, etc. Now the other one is parasitic mode of nutrition. So parasitic nutrition, the animals feed upon the living organisms. In the saprotrophic nutrition, the organisms were feeding upon the dead and decaying organic matter, but in the parasitic mode of nutrition, the animals are feeding upon the living organisms. Example, the mosquito sucks our blood. So mosquito is sucking the blood of any animal or any human being. So they are in the living position. They are not dead. So parasites take their food from their host which are in the living condition. So nutrition in which an organism derives its food from the body of another living organism or host without killing it. So parasites does not generally kills their host, but if body is attacked with a lot of parasites, the body can die, a person can die, but any animal can die, but generally they don't kill them. Example in the plant is cascata, in the plants only, and the fungi and bacteria. Please do not confuse with these, because fungi and bacteria does not fall in the same kingdom. They are in the different kingdom and these are in the different kingdom. So please make sure that. And animals, example is roundworm or plasmodium. Now plasmodium is the protozoa which is responsible for the malaria. Now the next mode of nutrition is holozoic nutrition. These are the types of nutrition which we are learning, and we have learned about autotrophic nutrition, and now we are learning about the heterotrophic nutrition. Into it, we are reading about types of heterotrophic nutrition. We have read about saprotrophic nutrition, parasitic nutrition, and the third one is holozoic nutrition. Now the holozoic nutrition is the nutrition in which the organism have to engulf their food from their mouth, or if they don't have any mouth, they can engulf their food by their body. Since it is the nutrition in which the food is entered the body, they have to ingest the food in the body, they have to digest the food. But in the case of saprophytic nutrition and parasitic nutrition, the food is not being eaten up by the mouth or by the body. It is not being digested. These organisms directly get the food which is already in the digested form, so they just absorb the nutrient from their host. They just absorb the nutrients, since they are only some of them are unicellular, or they don't have a perfect body, perfect mechanism and all, so they just have their food like that. But in the holozoic nutrition, the food has to be entered in the mouth, it has to be absorbed by the body, it has to be digested, it has to be assimilated in the body. So this is the mode of nutrition in which an organism takes a complete organic food. So they take the solid food. In the parasitic nutrition, they take liquid food, and in the saprotropic nutrition, they take the food which is almost digested, cooked food. But in this, the organisms takes the complex organic food or the solid or raw food material into its body by the process of ingestion. So it is the engulfing of food, ingesting the food in their body, putting the food in their body. It's called ingestion. And the ingested food material are digested and then absorbed into the body cells of the organisms. Example: human beings, animals such as dog, fishes, bird, and so all the animals which have a mouth or the multicellular body, they undergo this holozoic nutrition. But amoeba, being a single cellular organisms, still shows the holozoic nutrition. So there are some steps in this process, or in the nutrition in the animals. The animals undergo holozoic nutrition, and they undergo some basic steps. That is, number one is ingestion. They ingest their food in their mouth. So the process of taking the food in their body or by engulfing the food is called as ingestion. So the process of putting or having the food in their, example, mouth, we have our food by putting it into our mouth. So the process of ingesting the food into the body is called as ingestion. So these are the 5 steps which you have already read in your previous classes, but again you have forgotten, I know. So the next one is digestion, but make sure that you will keep in mind all these points. The next one is digestion. After ingesting the food in the body, the food has to be digested by the body. So it has to be broken down into simpler molecules, simpler substances. So there are other things, chemicals present in the body, different enzymes present in the body, which will help in digestion of the food. We will be learning in this video, in the forward video. So now the process in which the food containing large insoluble molecules are broken into small water soluble molecules which can be absorbed easily by the body is called as digestion. Since we cannot our chapati, our rice and our pulses cannot go in our bloodstream, so they have to be digested, they have to be broken down into simpler form, they have to be broken down into glucose and sugars and all the other substances so that it can be absorbed by our body. So the third point is absorption. So now absorption is after the digestion, the food have to be absorbed by the body. So after the digestion happens in the stomach. So after this, the food is absorbed by the intestine. So we are talking about human beings right now here, but we will be learning in detail in the next topic. But here the basic steps are 5 steps. That is ingestion. The food has to be ingested in the mouth. After that it is digested, and after it is absorbed by the body. In the case of humans and the other animals which are multicellular, they can be intestines absorbs the walls of the intestine absorbs the food material. After the absorption of the food has been done, next is assimilation. Now in the assimilation, the digested food or the absorbed food is used to make energy. Like if we eat food, the food is absorbed, the food is digested, the glucose is made, and then glucose is transformed into the energy, because in the cellular respiration the glucose is converted into the energy with the help of oxygen. So the assimilation is very important, because after the assimilation we will get the energy to perform our work. So the process in which the absorbed food is taken in by the body cells and used for energy, growth and repair is called as assimilation. So after the assimilation is done, the waste material which out of which the absorption has been done, after the digestion there is a waste material which is no more required for the body. So that material is thrown out of the body in the process called egestion. So the process in which the ingested food is removed from the body is called as egestion. Now After this, these are the basic 5 points which are very important in the holozoic mode of nutrition, be it the animal or be it any other organism. So in our syllabus, we just have to learn about the mode of nutrition in amoeba and the mode of nutrition in human beings. So moving with the first, that is mode of nutrition in amoeba. Since amoeba is a unicellular organism, it does not have any specific organs like us. Since it does not have any organs, there is no organ system, so all the things are done by a single cell. So now this is the thing how amoeba can perform all the functions which are important for the all these 5 steps, because in the holozoic nutrition there should be ingestion, digestion, absorption, assimilation, and uh, excretion. So these are done by a single cell organism called amoeba. How? That we'll be learning now. Now, the mode of nutrition in amoeba is called as the process of eating the food is called as phagocytosis, or we can also call it as an endocytosis. So the process of obtaining food in amoeba is called as phagocytosis. Now phago means cell and cytosis means eating. So eating above a cell is called as phagocytosis. Since amoeba is a single cellular organism, so I will be explaining you with this simple diagram, that is the mode of nutrition in amoeba. Since we all know that amoeba does not have any specific or any fixed shape or fixed size, and amoeba also does not have any mouth to ingest the food. So amoeba ingests its food by the help of pseudopodia. Now what is pseudopodia? Pseudo means false and podia means leg. So amoeba, we know that amoeba is an unicellular organism which live basically in the water, but it moves in the water. So how does it moves? Amoeba moves with the help of pseudopodia. That means it is having false foot. So whenever the food or a tiny food like plant or any tiny animal comes near the amoeba, so it stretches its arm like structure which is called as pseudopodia. So like if food is in this side, so it will stretch its arm from there. Since it is shapeless, it can stretch its arm from any of the side. There is no specific side that amoeba will develop a pseudopodia from any other region. It can develop from any of the sides of its body. So this is a arm like structure which are stretched. It's called as pseudopodia. So the food, tiny food particle is captured inside the body of the amoeba, and then the arms are closed. So it is like a temporary stomach in the amoeba which acts as a food. Now when the arms will be closed, it will be formed as a food vacuole. So there is no permanent food vacuole in amoeba. It is just formed when the food is entered in the body. So the first type of engulfing the food is called as ingestion. Since we know that amoeba is a unicellular organism, it does not have any mouth, so it will develop a pseudopodia. It is an arm like structure which will captivate the food, or it will engulf the food. These are finger like projection which are called as pseudopodia. So after this, there is the next, it is called as process, it's called digestion. After the food is being engulfed inside the body, the ends closes and the amoeba again forms a whole structure. Then in there are digestive secretion of digestive enzymes. So the food is digested in the food vacuole by the help of digestive enzymes. So enzymes entering the food vacuole, so they will be the production of enzymes which will enter the food vacuoles, which will help to break down the food into the small molecules or a simpler form. So there will be a chemical reaction in this food vacuole. With the help of that chemical reaction, the food will be broken down into smaller molecules and it will become soluble so that amoeba can absorb the food. So after the digestion, the food is being digested with the help of digestive enzymes, and the food material is broken down into smaller pieces, and it is being in the position that it will be dissolved and it becomes in a soluble form. After this, The third step is absorption. Into this, the digested food or the soluble food is absorbed by the body, since it does not have any other organ or it does not have any transporting medium like blood vessels or capillaries. So the food is directly being absorbed by the cytoplasm. The food which was digested by the help of the enzymes, which is in the soluble form, it is mixed in the cytoplasm with the help of diffusion. So because it's an only unicellular organism, so it has to be absorbed by the cytoplasm directly, and after the digestion is done, so there is no more use of this food vacuole, so this food vacuole also disappears. This is a disappearance of the food vacuole, and the absorption of food is done directly in the cytoplasm itself. After the third step, it's a fourth step, that is assimilation. That means when the food is being absorbed by the cytoplasm, it is used to make energy. So now this food, this simpler food which is absorbed like glucose, it is being reacted with oxygen, since there is a cellular respiration. So the food is being absorbed. After the absorption, the food is being assimilated, or it is being converted into energy with the help of oxygen. So there is a, because energy is a main thing for what we take nutrition. So the energy will be converted with the help of glucose and oxygen. So after all the process is done, the extra remaining part, the extra things which are undigested, they are thrown out of the body, because since they are waste. So there is any in the this cellular membrane, there will be any rupturing. So from any of the end which is open, the food is allowed to come out of the body of the amoeba, and it is thrown out. So basically all the steps of digestion of amoeba are done with the process of diffusion. When amoeba engulfs the food, the extra food is also thrown out of the body, and this is how the amoeba takes its food. So after this, we will be covering our next topic, that is nutrition in human beings. So this will not be covered in this video, this will be in the other video. For now, you will have to go in your student ID section. The way you see your the way you get your links of YouTube, again you have to go to the same ID, and they will be given a URL code. You have to click in that, and then you will get your assignment. So there is an assignment for today, and you have to click in that. When you will click in the assignment, your attendance will also be clicked, and then it will be marked as present, and you have to note down the question. It is in a PDF file form, you can print it out also, and you have to write all the answers of the question, so that you can be doing it for your next, whenever we'll come to school. So till then, please take care of yourself and study hard.